All right, hello everyone, and we say welcome. We welcome you once again, that is to the Gimnasio Juan de la Barrera Stadium here in Mexico City. Second game of our 4-game slate in the Women's Basketball World Cup 2026 pre-qualifying tournament on the road towards Berlin, towards Germany. We are the final day of group play. We have just seen a couple of minutes ago the 87-63 victory by Korea. An important victory, a consequential victory by them over Mali. Here's the starting lineup for the Venezuelan team: Daniela Wallen, Mariana Duran, Waleska Perez, Brianna Herlihy, and Agueli Fajardo. And Korea, as I've just said, beating Mali by more than 15 and giving themselves a fighting chance. If Czechia beats Venezuela, they will make it into the semifinals. But we still have a lot to play for, and it is a true pleasure to be joined as we take a look at the Czechia starting five by Mr. Lee Hall.
Well, thank you, Andres, very much. It's my pleasure to be here with you. And yeah, what a great job by Korea. That was the tall task to ask for, but they came through and kept their hopes alive for the semifinals as we take a look at the Czechia starting lineup.
Head coach Romana Takova of this European side lead that has been certainly the favorite and lived up to those standards so far with two big-time victories: 84-63 over Mali, 76-63 over Korea. Of course, they will qualify for the semis if they beat Venezuela. Well, actually, no. Let me check that. They're already in the semifinals because Korea having defeated Mali, Czechia is already in. So the situation here, Lee, as I give it over to you, is if it's going to be Venezuela joining them or if it's going to be Korea.
Right. Well, Korea definitely earned a shot at it, and we'll see if Venezuela can come back. They looked so impressive Monday with their turning defense to offense style, coming up with turnovers and scoring in transition. That's going to be a tough task against this Czechia team. I really like them a lot. They have so many women who are in that 5'11" to 6'4" range, just kind of interchangeable parts. Long, tall, quick, strong. They just are a formidable force and work well together as a team, really run their offense well. So it'll be interesting to see how Venezuela tries to combat that.
For sure. Venezuela with a win against Korea, 84-78, and a loss against Mali. And the stakes are pretty simple for this game. Lee, there's no need to check outcomes or points. It's just who wins. If Czechia beats Venezuela, then it's Czechia and Korea to the semis. If Venezuela wins, it's Czechia and Venezuela to the semifinals against Mexico or Montenegro, who will play in the final game of tonight's action. Oh, we're just getting word here, Lee, that the game has been delayed because there's no ambulance on the premises, and of course, we're not hoping that anything is going to happen, but should it happen, the presence of an ambulance is, of course, needed to start the game.
Yeah, that's kind of a prerequisite. Surprising that there's not one there. I'm sure there's some good reason for that. But as we look at these teams, Andres, at least their national teams, the last World Cup appearance for Czechia was back in 2014, and Olympic Games, you have to go back to 2012 for the last appearance there. Venezuela has been 6th in the last 2 FIBA AmeriCups. They have not qualified for worldwide competition, so they are trying to break new ground here. 1-1 after 2 games, and needing a win against one of the tougher teams, if not the favorite. I believe they were the favorite coming in this Group A, what they referred to as the Group of Death because of Czechia and Korea. But Venezuela was, of course, Mali, but Venezuela coming in ranked 36th in the world. They were kind of the afterthought, but they made their presence known with that upset win on Monday. Many considered it an upset. It was an upset on paper over Korea on Monday. They beat Korea 84-78, a 13-2 run in the 4th quarter. They shot 57% from 2-point range. So they have that capability. Now, can they do it against the quickness and tenacity of Czechia, who's played so well so far? That remains to be seen. Again, it's going to be a tough task, but they have proven that they've been able to prove the doubters wrong here this week in Mexico City, and that's something they'll try to do here again today. And you mentioned Czechia. You know, their opening day win over Mali, they won 84-63 very handily. They shot 48%, held Mali to 31% shooting, and shot 58% in the 2-point inside the 3-point arc from 2-point range. 58%. That is just amazing. And I think, Andres, it's a real credit again to how they run their defense, or run their offense. They are really unselfish. They work the ball around. They break down a defense, and just so, like I said, so many interchangeable parts. It seems like when you look at them, they don't have that necessarily that one dominant player, but just so many different ways they can score and hurt you.
For sure. Yeah, it's a dangerous team. It's a versatile team, and you gotta wonder, Lee, as we continue to wait for the technical issue to be resolved. How is Czechia and their coaching staff going to come out to play this game, knowing that they are already in the semifinal stage? And you got to wonder if we might see a different rotation, and might that benefit Venezuela, who of course needs to win to get in?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, Andres. I don't know how Coach Takova will approach it. She might try to get some of her starters a little bit of rest here. That's a good one. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, I guess, on that one. I could also see her just not. I could also see her not changing anything. I mean, you don't want to. It's kind of like in American football, the NFL, they qualify for the playoffs, and then they sit some players the last weekend. They don't get them to play, and then they come out in the playoffs, and then they're rusty and they don't perform as well. So, that's always a concern.
No,
if you change something if you change something too much here today, that it might affect them tomorrow. Although this Czechia team, I don't think anything like that is going to have any effect on them. They're just so well coached and so solid. I don't know that any of that will affect them.
Oh, I was going to add that there is something still to play for in terms of Czechia, because, of course, the winner of this group, the first place team of Group A, will play the loser of tonight's game between Mexico and Montenegro. So you might say, well, both of those teams are difficult, and whoever the opponent is going to be a tough game, but you always want to be number one and to have the quote-unquote lesser opponent in the semifinal stage. So that's something that you got to keep an eye on as well.
Oh, I think so. I think you're right there. This Czechia team is, uh, you know, they were 7th at Eurobasket last year, but they were 1 basket away from the semifinals and a spot at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament. So they were just on the doorstep, very, very close to going to an Olympic qualifier. So they really want, obviously, their extra motivation there maybe to win this entire pre-qualifier and get that shot at the World Cup coming up in 26. Not that everybody
No question.
doesn't want it, but they were so close to getting to an Olympic qualifier. I could see they're being really motivated to make some noise in 26.
Definitely. Yeah, some of the players to look at as we wait for the game to start in the Czechia side. Lee has already said it. It's a very deep team. They don't rely specifically on any particular player, but if you had to mention a few, number 44, Julia Racing-Garova, averaging 17.6 rebounds per game. Also 22, Emma Chechova, 15 points per game for the 20-year-old, and also number 12, Teresa Violarova. Some of the key names on the Venezuela side. There's a player that does a little bit of everything and does it in a very nice way. I'm talking about number 14, Waleska Perez. 17 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. Top 5 in all 3 categories, Lee.
Yeah, she's been awfully impressive, Andre. She was 5 of 6 inside the arc against Korea, good for 22 points and 8 rebounds. And then she followed that up with 12 points, 9 rebounds against Mali. So she's a huge part of it. Of course, Daniela Wallen, coming in was so highly respected and looked at. She helped Venezuela in that America Cup that we mentioned. She was the team leader in points per game, rebounds, and efficiency per game. And, she's had back-to-back double-figure games, 19 against Korea, 21 against Mali. So, yeah, those two are the leaders when it comes to getting the ball in the hoop, Daniela Wallen and Valeska Perez. So, a couple of other players that have come off the bench, and Brianna Herlihy has done it in 2 games. She's done it in back-to-back games, 17 against Korea, 19 against Mali. Fajardo, number 22, had a double-figure game against Korea on Monday. So there's some depth there. Actually, Herlihy went from coming off the bench Monday into a starting role on Tuesday. She played so well. So, yeah, those are some of the weapons. Those are some of the key players. The usual suspects, as they would say in the movie Casablanca. So those are some of the girls the ladies to look at. And of course, it seems to me like in postseason play, and it doesn't matter what sport it is, there's always somebody that kind of surprises you. I think Brianna Herlihy has kind of filled that role for Venezuela with her play. Being in double figures both games so far. 6'1" player, 26-year-old, so young, long and lean. I think she would fit right in with Czechia because she's got that same kind of long, lean, strong body and just very agile in the lane, and is just a pleasure to watch really when she plays the game.
Well, still waiting for the technical issue to be resolved. Here, we want to say hello and thank you for tuning in to the more than 2,000 fans we have in our YouTube chat right now, letting their voices be heard here in Mexico City at the Gimnasio Juan de la Barrera. Of course, a lot of Venezuelan fans, Czechia fans, but some Korean fans as well in our comments, because as we have just said, Korea needs Czechia to win to stay alive. checking the scores in the pre-qualifying tournament being held in Kigali in Rwanda. Argentina beat Lebanon 60-49, and Great Britain beat Rwanda, the host nation, 75-61. So the semifinals are set in that tournament. It'll be Rwanda, Senegal, and the Great Britain, Hungary on Saturday, as Great Britain, Rwanda, and Argentina all tied 2-1 on group play, and by the aggregate score, Argentina was eliminated. Great Britain advancing in first place. Here in Mexico City, after we wrap it up with Czechia and Venezuela, New Zealand will play Mozambique, and Mexico will go against Montenegro. Those two games wrapping up Group B, where Mexico and Montenegro are already qualified for the semis. We just need to know who will be first and who will be second after tonight's results. We continue to wait here as the teams warm up. Well, we thank you for waiting with us. To our more than 2,000 viewers, we apologize for the delay. Mauricio Guanaches, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, the Chechen players are warming up. Venezuela only has a couple of players doing warm-ups. Marcos Matute, yeah. They do have some players that are shooting. Still waiting for that ambulance. Mr. La Pulga. I'm ready. Let me know when I can start. We apologize for the delay, but we are underway in this game between Czechia and Venezuela. Czechia in the white uniforms, all white. Venezuela in the violet colors for the Vino Tinto. Alongside Lee Hall, Andres Schimmelman here on the commentary box here in Mexico City. And Lee, we had to wait, but we are finally underway.
Yes, the much anticipated game, even more anticipated after an ambulance delay. I don't think I've ever sat through an ambulance delay before. But we're glad they're here, and we're glad you're here with us.
I was going to say you have not been to see an Argentinian soccer game because I have had to suffer this a couple of times before.
Okay, fair enough. And you're correct. I have not. I have not.
Well, you're invited anytime. Okay. So now that we are definitely underway, Yoralova with possession, 24 shot clock winding down, and the outside shot by Natalie Tupalova is off the mark. Running the floor and getting the and one to begin the proceedings to Brianna Herlihy. As Lee had mentioned, her being one of the prominent and the surprising figures of this Venezuela squad.
Yeah, how about that? Making me look pretty smart. Yeah, she's a very active player. I've just kind of fallen in love with her game this week, and she gets Venezuela off to the start here in the opening moments. The delay didn't bother her any. She was ready to go.
Yeah, a good spin towards the basket for Julia Raysingarova, 194. The tallest player alongside Emma Chechova. Ball swings to Fajardo.
First half. Amazing first half against Mali.
One more time, it's Czechia running the floor, getting the bucket here on the hands of Stupalova. The veteran Daniela Wallen with the ball, swings it out, extra pass. Beautiful ball movement by Venezuela as Mariana Duran knocks down the three.
Both teams opening man-to-man. Both offenses coming out firing.
And firing they do with Katerina Rokosova. Second turnover for Venezuela early on. That pass by Skotolova. Venezuela on the break. Wallen, good pass. The fake. Terrific from Aguihil Fajardo for the bucket. 8-7 Venezuela. 2.5 minutes gone by, and another swish from Teresa Yoralova. Early offense
just
lead
goes to
for
show
both
you.
teams.
Just goes to show you, teams spend way too much time warming up, Andres. They don't need to warm up. They sat around and they come out here firing.
And Fajardo knocks down the bucket. Both offenses on fire to start. Baseline cut. Yoralova inside to Stupalova, who misses. Oh, a nice ball fake. A good piece of dribbling by Duran outside Wallen. No. Now on the counter, Czechia. Yaralova, I think she wanted to get a foul. Wallen penetrates. Misses again, and that one's going to belong to the European team.
Yeah, bad shots there on both ends of the floor, Andres. Just kind of out of control there.
Some substitutions in Czechia. Liksa Hamzova comes in. This is Pospisilova with a 3.
That's her second 3. Played at the University of Wisconsin.
All right. Good looking stroke to put Czechia back up 2. Wallen. 1-on-1, kicks it out. Fake. Steps in for 2 and connects. Good start to this game by Mariana Duran. Czechia continues on the attack with the racing Garova. Very accurate from 3 so far. The Chechen team has the good penetration from Waleska Perez. We're getting all sorts of buckets here, Lee.
Neither team can miss. Look at that.
Yeah.
I can't keep up scoring here.
Chechova with the 2, and it's 18-15 as we cross the halfway point of this first quarter. Waleska Perez back out. And they post up Fajardo, who lost possession. A chance to run for Czechia. She had a trailer, and there she is, Pospisilova, taking advantage of the fact that Venezuela did not run back on defense.
Both teams need a break. They have been up and down the floor, running offense, scoring. They've done a quarter's worth of scoring in 5.5 minutes.
One of our viewers here on the YouTube chat, Lee, says, this is the game worth watching. John Paul Perez. Well, you're absolutely right, my friend. Terrific game so far in the early goings.
Czechia shooting 57%, Venezuela shooting 75%. It's been an offensive display on both ends of the floor. You're shooting 58% and you're almost 20 percentage points behind your opponent. That's crazy. Fun to watch, though.
For sure. There are others that might complain that there's no defense, like our man Luis Braco here on the YouTube chat, but you know, it's something for everyone.
You can't please everybody, Andres, you know?
You're right. Trying to post up. Good defense. Solid on the back line for Venezuela. Wallen. Valdez Perez puts it inside. Turnaround bank shot was no good by Herlihy. Andilova tries a three, who misses, but the rebound favors. It leaks to Hamzova. Driving with the left, getting some contact is Guadalupe Diaz. Substitutions. The European side checking in Veronika Sipova, player of ZVVZ USK Praha. Also checking out there was Ray Zingarova.
Those are Guadalupe Diaz's first points of the tournament.
A 5-point lead for Czechia. And that's going to be an offensive foul. Yep. Telegraphed it. Wallen swinging it on the perimeter for Diaz. 5 to shoot. Too strong. And Sipova tracks it down. Hamzova on the attack, almost lost possession. Hamzova shot it with the right, and she was sort of lucky to be fouled. She will go to the line to shoot 2.
Herlihy coming over for help defense and gets tagged with a foul. Liska Hamzova, her mother was a national team member and won a silver at the Euros in her career and was an Olympian for Czechia, finishing 5th in the Olympic Games.
Here she gets subbed. Katerina Seytamirova is now on the floor. Diaz. Herlihy swings it out. Diaz is open for 3. Off the mark, but thought it was last touched by the Chechen player. Referee saw it the other way. Ball for the team in white. Pressure, picking up the full 94 feet. Guadalupe Diaz wants to steal it. Oh, it looked like she had done it, but perhaps a bit too overzealous there, Lee.
Just a little bit.
Andilova looking for the post. Too weak on that hook shot by Chechova.
Neither team has scored for about 40 seconds. It seems like it's been 3 minutes. They've been scoring so much to this point. Just a
They were bound
slight
to cool
lull.
off.
Oh, they should have scored there early. He missed an easy one.
Trying to answer is Klenarova, who does. And now the lead is up to 9. Points for Simona Skleranova off the bench.
An 11-2 run for Czechia.
Doubling up in the paint. 12-6, now 12-8, because Hurley, she really sealed her defender in the paint and knocked down the 2.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, Andre. She's so fundamentally sound, strong, solid player inside. Yes, playing physical defense, but a little too physical for the referee's liking.
Yeah. Picks up her second foul. Although Zaytamarova missed the free throw. The final minute of this first quarter. Czechia winning by 7. They swing it to Diaz. Oh, that was in and out. Looking for the offensive board was Odette Betancourt, but she stepped out of bounds. Good effort, but number 4 couldn't keep it in play. Andilova gets inside the paint between 3. Wow, good finish by the little guard. In the land of the Giants, Venezuela can hold for 1. They trail by 9. Early goes to the cup, misses, and Czechia will have one final shot. Good bounce pass for Andilova, who scores the layup. And what a way, Lee, to end this first quarter on a nice run for the Europeans, who now lead by double digits. They are up 11.
30 points in the first quarter on a 120-point pace.
Some of the first quarter stats here.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin,
basketball
can bring everyone together.
Basketball for good.
All right, Lee, second quarter action. This Women's Basketball World Cup 2026 pre-qualifying tournament in Mexico City. Still a long way to go, but with this current score, it's Czechia and Korea going to the semifinals. Venezuela will probably get a turnover, and they do here in their very first possession. After a scoring outburst by both teams, Czechia has held in nicely.
Czechia 8 of 14 from 2-point range, 4 of 6 from 3-point range in the first quarter. 16-8 their edge on points in the paint. Venezuela not terrible, 5 of 10 inside the arc and 2 of 6 from 3-point range.
Yeah, you can't do it much better, offensively speaking at least, than what Czechia did in the first 10 minutes. 30 points. It's a huge number. Sejtamedova, back to Sejtamedova. Oh, a nice three by Katerina Sejtamedova, the 22-year-old. Yes. Fajardo tried to get it back. A good read. Good help defensively by Sipova.
Yeah, and that's something you don't always get, as we see the three from the previous possession.
On the corner, Fajardo gets her offensive board for Venezuela, who need points. Already down 14 here. And Fajardo can't connect. The hoop has shrunk for Venezuela considerably, and they foul racing her over here on the other side. .803 in this first half. Plenanova. Good box out there from Venezuela. Now they run the floor with Duran, trying to use the glass. Nothing going now for the Vino Tinto. The referees stopped the action. There was a player down. Oh, looks like it's on the shoulder, Lee.
And Mariana Duran got tied up there with Rising-Garova, it looks like.
I was just mentioning the good box out by Venezuela, avoiding the offensive rebound by the very, very tall Julia Rising-Garova. Now they're taking number 4, Odette Betancourt, out to check on her. The team doctors, let's hope that she's okay. The play resumes. They need more out of this woman, Daniela Wallen. Fajardo, depending a lot on the 24-year-old Fajardo so far, and she can't connect.
Daniela Wallen has not scored
Sejtamedova.
yet.
Yeah. Short three, the tip out, sorry, for the rebound. Rising-Garova. Long two, no good. Long pass. Here is Wallen precisely. Great
Oh, what a
ball.
pass.
Terrific, and we asked for Wallen to appear, and she did as an assistant woman there, Lee.
Yeah, that was a fantastic pass. Great vision. And another three.
Czechia, yeah, they just don't let up, do they?
That's her second in a row.
Duran going all the way, gets her own miss. Goes to the ground. Duran. Who's going to get that one? Is it Wallen? Is it Duran? Is it the Chechen player? Still no call. Still no call. The ball is live. Everybody stopped there thinking that a timeout was called, but play continued as Zeytamirova now has it. And we'll play 5-on-5. Racing it over too strong, and that ball appeared to hit the top of the backboard. It'll belong to the Vino Tinto, who are down 15, and in what a pass here from Wallen.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was really an outstanding pass and just great awareness by Daniela Wallen.
Duran pushed off. Only the first foul of this second quarter for Czechia. Some shoelaces that need to be tied for Genesis Rivera, who is now in the game. Wallen. The penetration, stop the fire. All perfect by Brianna Herlihy. Player out of Unicaja Malaga in Spain.
She's got
Turning
seven.
around and putting it in is Natalie Stupalova. Good move as well by her.
9 players have scored for Czechia in this game.
Goes back to your point when we started the game, Lee, the depth of this Chechen team. Now the Venezuelan players all trailing the ball in that possession. Terrific ball movement till it reached Racing Garova. Almost looked like they were tired. Too tired to defend. Herlihy. Wallen. Almost stripped, but with contact, says the referee.
Even though Daniela Wallen hasn't scored, she's trying to create. She made that great pass, and she was trying to drive and dish there to get to create and to kind of help out in some way. If her shots aren't going in, you got to do other things to contribute.
No question. Yeah, that's a good point. 40-25 here. Already past the midway point of the second quarter. Remember later on, New Zealand, Mozambique, and the final game of our 4-game slate, Mexico, Montenegro. Those 2 games on Group B. Good steal. And Czechia running the floor. He didn't have an angle to get the layup off there. Sotolova The open woman is Teresa Violarova, who knocks it down. All alone is Wallen. They get it into Daniela, but she can't connect. A rare miss by Wallen. And somebody got a piece of that three. Czechia can make it a 20-point lead with a bucket here. They can't connect the three. Offensive rebound. Sotolova. Another offensive board. Stupalova. Sotolova resets. 7 seconds. They go into the post. A quick attack. And a terrific finish by Natalie Stupalova. And Czechia goes up 20. Back 3 minutes to go in the first half. Czechia has opened up a 20-point lead. Venezuela needs to react quickly if they want to have a chance. They swing it across to Duran. From a tough angle. Both Pisilova. Hamzova. Good defense by Wallen. They still get it in. And an underhand layup. Couldn't get it to go on Sechova. Keeps the dribble alive. Chile to the corner. No good by Valeska Perez. Nothing going for Venezuela right now.
No, both teams started quickly, and Czechia has stayed hot, but Venezuela has not been able to solve their defense for quite some time now. It's a 19-6 run by Czechia.
Second foul on Sotolova.
Thanks everybody for joining us on YouTube with our live chat. A lot of you there. Almost 6,000 viewers, 220 likes. We need more likes than that. Come on. Help us out.
Sotolova, good ball inside. They swing it out to Pospisilova. And Czechia get another offensive rebound. Hamzova. Pospisilova. Short three-pointer. Another work on the glass. Pospisilova gets inside. But here come Venezuela the other way. Duran. Nice hesitation. Misses the layup with the left, though. And she just sort of lays there on the floor as Czechia goes on the counter. They stop and fire from Karolina Sotolova. The lead continues to balloon for the Europeans.
21-6 now the run for Czechia.
Duran. Wallen. Drifts over to Noelia Chile. In and out. And with that, we will go to break. At the halftime break, it's 47-25 in favor of Czechia, doing their part not only to qualify in first place of Group A, but also to put Korea in the semifinals. Venezuela will need to turn this score around and beat Czechia if they want to play Saturday in the semifinal stage.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, We are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good. Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin,
basketball
can bring everyone together.
Basketball for good.
All right, back here with the start of the second half from the Gimnasio Juan de la Barrera. Final day of group play in this Women's Basketball World Cup 2026 pre-qualifying tournament. Some of the Czechian players, Lee, that have performed well in this first half, and there's a ton of them going back again to your point of this being one of the more deep teams and certainly one of the favorites to come out of this whole tournament.
Yes, Andres, when Sotolova scored there late in the half, she was the 10th player to score for Czechia. They are shooting 56% in the first half, 7 of 13 behind the three-point line. They out-rebounded Venezuela 20-12, and the bench scoring 18-2 in favor of Czechia. Venezuela started 5 for 10, and then they went 5 of 18, and they missed their last 5 three-point attempts. So their offense got a little stagnant. 21-6 run by Czechia to end the half. That went back into the first quarter, of course. So Venezuela has to find a way to play a little defense. They've given up 43 points, 47 points rather, in the first half. And got to get some offense. They only scored 6 points in that second quarter. That's amazing that they only scored 6.
Yeah. We want to give a shout out to all our over 3,000 fans here watching the game, the YouTube channel of FIBA, and the ones that are participating in the chat room. Just to name a few: Michael Measho, Ali El Samahi, Marcos Matute, very active in the chat, hoping that Venezuela will be able to turn this score around. They have their work cut out for them, most definitely, in this second half. But as long as there's time on the clock, Lee, there's going to be a chance.
Absolutely. And Andres, along with the YouTube broadcast, you can check out this FIBA event on Instagram, Facebook, and X. It's at FIBA WWC, and the official hashtag is hashtag FIBA WWC, as Rising Garova gets the scoring start here in the second half.
There you go. Across all platforms, the very best of international basketball. Live and direct, as Hurley, he could not answer with the three.
And of course, FIBA.com, you can find a lot of, if you go to events and find this pre-qualifier and be played in Mexico. There's just all kinds of information, stats, news, box score, standings. We're watching the live stats as we go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, at least I use it a ton to prepare for these games. I'm sure you do as well, Lee.
Yeah, I can't believe it didn't crash, because I've been on it a lot.
That's a good servers, I guess, in FIBA. As Venezuela's had a rough start here in the second half. They need to find ways to put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, that both teams started hot, I should say, and Venezuela just kind of, their offense has just gone away.
Foul here on the pick and roll. Whistled against Barbara Pico. Number 3. Overcommitting.
Of course, a lot of the reason that Venezuela's offense has gone away is because of the great defense by Czechia. They are, they've held both teams, both Korea and Mali, to 63 points. And Venezuela's on a pace to only score 50.
Right. Good drive there by Julie Pospisilova, former Kentucky Wildcat. Andilova. Fingerova calling for it in the post, but it's already the 3rd foul in the same possession. Lee, 3 straight fouls whistled against the Vino Tinto.
Yeah, it's asking a lot to guard this team.
Hamsova. Andilova open. Cashes it in.
She's got 7 points now.
Yeah, very even. The scoring across the board for Czechia. This is Jormelis Urbina. Kicks it out to Fajardo. Hamsova. It all looks easy right now for Czechia. Look at Rajcingarova going through the teeth of the defense and getting the foul called. Already in the bonus for the remainder of the quarter is Czechia. This is the 4th foul in Venezuela.
It was 26-19 late in the first quarter, and it's a 26-6 run since then for Czechia. The Lionesses have really taken control of this game. That's 10 for Rajcingarova, so she's been in double figures in all 3 of the games this week.
Fajardo stopped in her tracks, now sets the screen. Diaz, the kick out. Great closeouts by the Czechian defenders. And you mentioned this just a few seconds ago, Lee, and I think I should have brought it up before. It's some great defense as well on the part of the Europeans to force this lead. As they pick up this loose ball. And Rajcingarova misses. Score right now is at 54-25 in favor of Czechia. There you see it on the bottom of the screen. Almost 3 minutes of game time in this 3rd quarter. Still to come today, New Zealand, Mozambique, and finally Mexico, Montenegro. The hosts are playing last and also playing for first place of Group B. 2-0, the record for Mexico and Montenegro.
They had a really nice crowd turnout last night.
I'm sure. Czechia more than doubling the lead here. That could have been a double dribble for Guadalupe Diaz, who now gets it back. On the left corner, bounce pass. Look at the swarming defense. Diaz shoots, and finally, a shot goes down. And a bad pass. Miscommunication by Racing Garova.
That ends that streak at 30-6 for Czechia at 3. Only 9 points for Venezuela since the end of the first quarter. Well, feeling it. Guadalupe Diaz with 2 threes in a row to breathe a little life into the Venezuela offense here as we're just about midway through the third quarter. And now a turnover. Good solid defense inside that time by Venezuela. They made a pretty big splash Monday, knocking off Korea, who was ranked 13th in the world. But they run into what might be the best team in this week's tournament in Czechia at 2-0. And their defense has just been stellar. As Karolina Sotolova returns. Andres is having a little technical difficulty, so we'll step in and fill you in on what's going on here. That's off Czechia, and it will be Venezuela ball with 17 on the shot clock. It was 26-19 late in the first quarter, and Czechia went on a 30-6 run, holding Venezuela to 6 points in the third quarter. A couple of Guadalupe Diaz three-pointers here has given a bit of a lift to the Venezuela offense. She drives and dishes here, so a couple of threes and now an assist for Diaz. Fajardo now with 9. It's an 8-0 run for Venezuela. Welcome back, Andres.
Thank you, Lee. And some life, some signs of life, as you were saying, for Venezuela. They still have their work cut out for them, of course. Down 23.
Yeah.
Urbina. The pass. 4 in the shot clock. The penetration. And the rebound by Fajardo. Couldn't connect. On the other side, it is the outside shot once again dropping down for Czechia on the part of Violarova. 9.5 points per game, and she is already on that mark here tonight.
Her third three of the game. Almost 5,000 viewers now with us on YouTube. We invite you to join us on the live chat.
Duran. 4 seconds. Duran. Chile. Way off. Andelova, good pass up front. Quick attack from Czechia. Gonna get the benefit of the free throws after the foul. Veronika Sipova, 25 years old, 181. Now it's down a pair.
She had 11 points in the win over Korea.
Now with her first 2. Sipova.
Czechia just makes it look easy, don't they? 31-point lead. .231 left here in the third. Katarina Rokosova into the lane, drawing the whistle. Rokosova is 23 years old. She has a Christmas Eve birthday, which has got to be a ripoff for a kid. You get, is it a birthday present or is it a Christmas present? Czechia in control. They got an early start on this pre-qualifying tournament in Mexico City. Mexico invited them to play a friendly last Saturday. Of course, the tournament started on Monday as Mariana Duran scores. She's got 9 now. So the Czechia players were talking about the atmospheric conditions, of course, the altitude and how they had heavy legs. But it hasn't been a problem for them once this FIBA Women's World Cup pre-qualifying tournament in Mexico City got underway. Averaging 80 points a game, only allowing 63. Look at how they share the basketball. tie up, and I think they might have called a foul there. I thought maybe it was a jump ball, but no, that's a foul call. So it'll be Venezuela ball out of bounds in a 30-point game. Romana Takova took over this Czech national team in 2022, and she's done quite a job.
He's got this team very well prepared. It's a deep, versatile team, as you have pointed out on a number of occasions, and they are looking to secure a spot in the Women's World Cup qualifying tournament for 2026 in Berlin. So far, so good, undefeated going into the semis on Saturday. .30 lead, 65-35 Czechia. Final seconds of this third quarter. Final foul that the Czechs had to give, committed by Rokosova. And I gotta believe, Lee, that our Korean fans in the group chat are very, very excited, because this means that they are also going into the semifinals following their victory over Mali earlier today.
How about that? 0-2. They had to win by 15. And then they had to have Czechia win. And Czechia, I would say that was the easier of the two for Korea to win by 15. That's a tall order, at this level, I would think. They sure came through, though.
Nice bucket from mid-range. Pure stroke from Karolina Stotolova. And with that half-court shot, third quarter comes to a close. 32 points, the lead for Czechia. Venezuela has 35 points, and they trail by 32.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
All right, Lee, we're back. Start of the fourth quarter. 10 more minutes to go. And unless a miracle happens, Venezuela will be eliminated. They will not be able to make it into the 2026 Women's World Cup. And they're certainly going to have issues if they turn it over like that.
Eduardo Pinto, their coach, said before the tournament started, he told his team to leave the results aside and enjoy the matches. Now, of course, they enjoyed the win over Korea much more than these last two games, but you know, it takes a little building, you know, when you're not getting into those Olympic and those worldwide competitions. Another three there for Czechia.
Yeah. Zejta Mirova, who has a great outside shooting skill, as we have seen today, knocks down another.
If my score sheet is right, that's her third three of the game.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. She sort of like lasers them in, right? Without a big parabola.
Parabola, very nice. Andres. That's four
I
syllables.
got
That's
a few,
pretty good for a sportcaster.
I got a few tricks up my sleeve. There aren't a ton of them, but I try to use what I have.
Most impressive.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Venezuela here on the line. Boy, it's just such a stark difference, Lee, from the first quarter when it was both Czechia and Venezuela doing the scoring. They've just gone so cold since then.
Yeah, it was a fatiguing. I mean, they were just up and down, and everybody was hitting their shots, and Czechia's continued to score, but Venezuela hit a wall there very early on. They scored 6 points in the second quarter.
Yeah. Very early. They keep on missing after Andelova's bucket. It's 73-36. Stupilova, extra pass, and a foul. Called against the 17-year-old Engi Rudas, player out of Tenerife in Spain, getting her first few minutes here in this competition, certainly a part of the future of Venezuela.
She made her national team debut at the U18 level when she was just 15.
Wow. One of our comments on the YouTube chat made me laugh. Out of Alex Romero 92, the Czechian players score from three as they were in training. Yeah. They really look comfortable as Zejta Mirova misses, but the long rebound favors her. 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. Sklenarova picks up two, finds the open teammate, and Zejta Mirova misses again.
Yeah, Czechia just has a great on-the-floor chemistry, very unselfish. They make the extra pass. They're really a fun team to watch, in my opinion.
No, I totally agree. As Hurley, he misses. Zaytamirova finds Sklenarova. Back to Zaytamirova. Sklenarova. They played 2 on 5 almost. They played give and go, and the 3 fell down. Duran leaves it for the outside shot that's off. Very serious team as well, this Czechian squad. Never stepping down on the gas pedal, always going full throttle. That's why they are up by 41 points.
We started talking about Romana Takova, the Czechia coach. She took over in 2022 after leading the U20 team to the 2022 European U20 title. And then the national team won the Women's Federal Basketball Cup in 22. And she's put together a really nice team here, ranked 23rd in the world, and with a really good chance to win this pre-qualifier and get to that qualifying event in March of 26.
Yeah. No, terrific job by her, no question about it. They had Sechova open. They went to the player that was double teamed. Venezuela go the other way. Diaz. Fajardo. Urbina. Can't get past the first line, but they left Fajardo open. And she connects. Gets to 11 points, a double figure. Scorer, Aguehil Fajardo. Player out of Labovi. Penetration. Final touch made by a Venezuelan player. Czechia keeps possession with 5:54 on the clock.
Group B coming up next. New Zealand taking on Mozambique, followed by Montenegro and Mexico, the home team.
Right on. A pair of 0-2 teams against a pair of 2-0 teams to wrap up group play. They had to put it up at the buzzer. That's double dribble, yeah. Yeah. She got the offensive board, let the ball go, and was the first to recapture it. Yes. Rudas lets it go for Urbina. Urbina, almost over-dribbled. Guadalupe Diaz finds the pass inside. Rudas with a good offensive rebound. Trapped over there in the corner. And a foul against Urbina. She will shoot 2. We say hello to Mayra Parra. to DJ Markman, to Joseph Alzate, some of our fans here in the YouTube chat. Thank you for letting your voices be heard, for joining us on this basketball afternoon in Mexico, at least. We still got 2 more games to go, well into the night here in the Gimnasio Juan de la Barrera. Danilova open for 2.
An historic building, Andres. They played the volleyball Olympic tournament here in 1968 when Mexico City hosted the Olympics.
Wow. Didn't know that.
So it's a building that stood the test of time.
For sure.
It's almost as old as me too. Well, it might be. I don't. You know, it hosted the '68 games, so it might have been built for the '68 games. I'm not sure. It might have been in existence before that. But it has served us well this week.
Yeah, we get a day off tomorrow, right, to set up the semifinals and the big final on Sunday. But it's been a whirlwind, certainly. I'm sure it's been for you, Lee.
Yeah, we've this is game 8 since Monday, so we've seen a lot of basketball. Yeah. 2 more to go. And I'm not calling the games this weekend, but I'm definitely going to try and tune in and check them out. I've got some other things to tend to.
Okay.
Previous engagements, as they say.
Possession winding down for Czechia, and they get bailed off with a foul. Already the 4th for Venezuela. Shot clock goes to 14. Hamzova. Zaytamirova. The screen by Shipova. Hamzova tried to play to number 21, but last touch was by Venezuela. So 3.7 now to shoot.
He's kind of looking ahead, Andres, at the schedule. The Saturday game times, according to the site where I'm looking, are still to be determined. And the championship game Sunday, well, it's going to be 6 p.m. Central Time in the States, so I think that would be 5 p.m. Mexico City time.
Okay.
Don't quote me, though.
We'll wait for official confirmation there.
Yeah. Still 4,700 fans hanging around with us on YouTube.
Yeah, we appreciate it for sure. Well, a lucky bounce, a lucky couple of bounces for that free throw to drop, and good pressure from Venezuela as they recover. Fajardo goes to 13 points. Diaz penetrates with the left hand. Chile with the ball, trying to get free. Oh, and the ball bounced off the foot of Hamzova. Unforced error by the player from Zabini, Berno.
It's late in the game. You're tired. It's a 37-point game. Sometimes the concentration slips just a hair.
For sure. Urbina, good move. Going all the way to the cup for 2. Running the floor and calling for it was Katerina Rokosova. She got it and used the bank to collect 2 more for Czechia. 81-44 with 2:36 left to go in this one. It's basically over. Czechia is going to go on to the semifinals as well as Korea, and they will see if they go up against Mexico or Montenegro, depending on their result later on, as Czechia, of course, qualifies in first place in Group A. Korea will qualify in second place, so they will face the winner of the Mexico-Montenegro game. Foul on Zeta Medova. And really at this point, Lee, clock being stopped doesn't favor anyone. Venezuela's not going to come back from this one.
No, at the high school level in the States, once it gets to a certain lead, they keep the clock running. When a game's at a certain point, I'm all for that.
Yeah. I'm with you. That's a 3 for Czechia. Their lead is almost 40 once again. Chile just throws it up there, a prayer. Under 2 to go. Rokosova, Zeta Medova. Pick and roll with Sipova. Oh, dangerous pass, and Venezuela has a chance to counter. The fake by Diaz, and a foul. She will shoot 2.
A 3-point basket for Czechia was their 14th of the game.
Well, in both games today, Lee, almost starting to wrap up our 2 games together. The 3-point advantage was very, very clear to the winning team, right? For Korea over Mali, and here for Czechia over Venezuela.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember when there wasn't a 3-point line. Uh-oh.
Trip foul.
Funny, I remember a lot of people were against the 3-point shot back then.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it changed the game, but people thought it was going to ruin it, and it has changed the game, no doubt. That goes without saying. But good post play is still rewarded. But there's not much of it. It's just the math is just the math. Scoring by 3 versus scoring by 2.
Yeah, but we have seen, the emergence of players like Nikola Jokic that you can structure an offense through a big man, through post play, inside out, and it can still be very, very effective.
Oh, absolutely.
"90 seconds to go here in Mexico City. A complete rout by Czechia. Other than the first 5 or 6 minutes when it was pretty even, the Europeans have dusted Venezuela quite easily in this game. They will wait for the loser of Mexico-Montenegro on Saturday. Zaytamirova, Zipova almost gets the bank shot to go. So many fouls in these last few minutes. Two times wanting to get that offensive board were the Czechs. This is going to belong to Venezuela. Well, still a good experience for the squad led by Eduardo Pinto to face off against important teams, to get, again, experience at an international level, despite not making it. I'm sure they'll learn a lot about their team moving forward. The traveling call was made here.
Yeah. Ed, Coach Pinto before the tournament said, these teams are going to give us a chance to climb up a few more steps and maybe reach that South America championship in the AmeriCup 25. So yeah, it's a learning experience. It's a growing experience. You come away with a win over a top 15 ranked team in the world. That's, you have to look at the big picture, right, Andres? You're exactly right.
Yeah. Well, Seytamirova, Zipova, and we're going to get one more whistle just for fun.
You could probably let that go in the last 23 seconds. I'm sure there's a purist who would argue with me on that, but
No. You and me both.
oh yeah.
You and me both. We got the almost 15-minute, 20-minute delay to start this game due to the absence of an ambulance here in the stadium. We were finally able to get it going. And after a scoring outburst by both teams early on, Czechia took control of this game and has won handedly here. Final play, Barbara Pico, bounce pass. Fajardo, who's fought the entire game, is Noah Chile. And the three-point shot is off for the final score of this game, 86-49. A big-time victory by Czechia, who advanced to the semifinals undefeated. And Venezuela, sadly for them, are eliminated.
Just an overwhelming performance by Czechia. 3-0. 86 points. That's their second game out of 3, over 80 points. their defense holding Venezuela under 50 as we get a look at some of the numbers there and the overwhelming advantage in both shooting categories inside the 3-point arc and outside it. Rebounds, assists, overwhelmingly in favor of Czechia. And look at that balanced scoring. Geez, they're making me look awful smart, Andres. 3 players with 12 points each. And I'm not that smart. But I mean, it doesn't take long for you to see that Czechia is that kind of team. And I just, it's of course you like teams that win. I mean, they're fun to watch, but I just like the way they play too.
Sure. So this is the Group A. Czechia with 6 points, a 3-way tie for second, between Korea, Mali, and Venezuela. But due to the aggregate, Korea qualifies in second place. Been a fun couple of games, and I'm very, very happy to have shared it with you, Lee. And we can wrap it up. But thank you, my friend. Just a reminder: New Zealand, Mozambique coming up, and finally Mexico, Montenegro on this Women's Basketball World Cup 2026 pre-qualifying tournament from Mexico City. Thank you very much for your company. It's been a pleasure.